degrees north, and you take the degrees east. I did it because it looked, and it's 66.6. So I come across Anna, ancient woman, 66, from Jerusalem. The longitude, latitude of that equals 66.6. Interestingly, while finishing the final research on book 1, I noted in July 2007, 7/7, the UN had just reported that the population of the Earth had just reached 6.66 billion, and that the average global life expectancy was 66.6 years. This seemed to speak of our time. In the Bible, it's my least favorite number, the beast. The beast is man. It's not a person. It's man. It's us. We're the beast. Stop searching for the Antichrist. This proved it to me. And it's this time. We all, with our average, when I wrote this book, was 66.6 years. We had just reached 6.66 billion people. And Jerusalem, where the Bible was mostly written in the Holy Lands, is 66.6. Again, I thought that was more than coincidence. Other mysterious number of coincidences. The numerological total for prophet is 98. I did prophet because it was in my thing. Then I remembered we just did Williams, and it was 98. That was the 7 plus 7 times 7, 249s. So I did lamb, but also did lamb. The word lamb also, it doesn't total 90. The word lamb also appears in 98 chapters of the Bible. By the way, the lamb's veterinarian was also called Williams. The word lamb appears 105 times in the Bible. 98 chapters. That's the same as the total number for messenger, which is at the beginning of the message. So the word lamb appears in the Bible 105 times. That's the same as messenger. Also noted that Jerusalem totals 144. That's the same as Ottawa, Canada, 104. That's where I was born. And again, it all felt more than coincidence. It started to feel very personal. We're close, guys. Okay, now we're getting really towards the end of the book. I'm tidying up the book of notes. My work is completed as far as I'm concerned. I've discovered the answers to the mystery of 11 with the Mayans, AN, which we went over last week, and I felt that I received divine messages and developed a much higher spiritual awareness. This is in the book. Between July 05 and July 07, I compiled thoughts while I was sitting in the backyard on the patio. My kids could remember this. I just sit there and something comes to me, I write it. I wanted to put this in the book because I thought it was some of them were fairly pithy. I totaled them. I was going to put them in the appendix. It totaled 365. I didn't change a single one. And I thought, let's just see, it's just so natural. Of course there's 365 days in a year, 365 thoughts. September 9th, 07, I proofread a book. I was proofreading the book in September 9th, and I was reviewing the accumulated notes. It's kind of like at the end of anybody who's ever written something or done a thesis or something, you just kind of have these notes you haven't done anything with. And I came across a note that read, July 27th, 07, fast, bright, 12 midnight, shooting star, high southwest. I recall the night instantly. How could I forget it? My kids know about it. My wife knows about it. Anthony knows about it. I instantly recalled that very memorable night. The day after Rolf's reading was a warm, clear night. I was alone in the dark in the backyard on the patio, and I was staring at the universe above. And because of Rolf's reading and some of these other things, I looked at everything differently. I had this sense of wonder and awe and understanding of the universe. Sitting in quiet contentment, I somehow oddly expected to see something in the sky that night. And I was expecting it at midnight. I challenged them. I boldly thought if I saw something at midnight, this would confirm the significance of number 12 in the Mayan calendar date of 12/12 and the source of my answer to 11/11. Then at exactly 12 midnight, a fast, bright shooting star, stat, tore across the black sky. I ran outside shouting what I'd seen. I ran inside, actually. Not outside. I was outside. And to confirm on the other clocks, I ran shouting at Maureen and Anthony. Went in to look at the other clocks. Predicting, asking, and then witnessing this was a very powerful, spiritually uplifting thing for me. I knew the sign was relevant to my work and the message in that work. I asked for a sign at midnight. And at exactly 12 midnight, a shooting star tore across the sky. The very next day, by the way, if you're asking, well, did you go look to see if there was a shooting star in the sky? Yes, there was a shooting star in the sky at exactly midnight. July 27th, 07, I decided not to put personal signs, such as asking and receiving a midnight sign. That's why it wasn't in the book. However, I realized that morning, that July 27th, 07, was the day that Lotso was born. I didn't hear about it till August. She was born on July 27th. The little lamb Lotso that led me to discover the many messages hidden within the details of Lotso's birth in Medheaven, New Zealand, on July 27th, 07. I was taken back. It all seems important to me. It seemed urgent. I wrote, when I prayed and asked what to do next, and I was told to write a book, I started the next day writing a small book, Truth. And that, well, I was told by my editor to move that to the back of the book. This chapter is called The Ancient Search for Hidden Truth. And in 1997, my spiritual journey of discovery and awakening began with a brief prayer. I was told to write a book, and inexplicably I began my studies researching truth. These are the first words I wrote in 1977 and called them The Ancient Search for Hidden Truth. I studied Newton, Einstein, discussed in that chapter I discussed hidden church truths, Sir Isaac Newton's true beliefs, which surfaced after his death, which we went into slightly. Because Newton's truths were subject to scientific and church ridicule, study of Bible codes and astrological charts, Einstein's truth he knew would be found in mathematics because he knew numbers didn't lie. The book talks about ancient truths, Aristotle, Confucius, they all. My favorite, one of my favorites is Aristotle. The states of virtue by which the soul possesses truth, by way of affirmation or denial, are 5 in number. They are art, scientific knowledge, practical wisdom, philosophic wisdom, and intuitive reason. We do not include judgment and opinion, because in these we may be mistaken. To me, that's the quintessential meaning of truth. Church truths, one of my favorite verses from Louis Agassiz, 18th century naturalist and geologist. Every great scientific truth goes through 3 states. First, people say it conflicts with the Bible. Next, they say it has been discovered before. Lastly, they say they always believed it. It's called ridicule, denial, acceptance. Modern truths. I go deep into truth in this chapter. Alvin Toffler, author of Future Shock, wrote on June 11,